It was around about 8 years ago when this entire thing started. Something that will always remain at the back of my head. My family bought a new house in a very secluded area. A few cars passing by every now and then. It was a nice house though, a living room, 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, and 4 bedrooms connected by a long hallway. The hallway would always put me off for some reason, but I didn't know why. I never liked the feeling of walking through it alone, so my sister would always walk me to my room and then leave. But after a while, she got tired of having to always walk me, so eventually, I had to walk by myself. One night, after I finished dinner, I had to walk back to my room. Everyone had finished eating before me, so I was alone. I noticed something in the dark. A girl. At the end of the hallway? No, it can't be. It was just me and my siblings that night. No one was as tall as her. Oh, hell no. I see this type of stuff all the time in movies. I ain't playing with this shit. I may have been a little kid, but at least I was smart enough not to fuck around with demons. I was going to run, but when I looked again, it was gone. I went to sleep with my sister that night. When I tried telling my parents what I saw, they thought it was just my imagination.
Nita, don't worry. No one is here.
I would always see her at the corner of my eye, but I never got a good look at her. The only time she stood still was at the end of the hallway. Always at the end of the hallway. I was getting sick and tired of this, so one day I just stared right back at her. It felt like forever, but eventually she left when I took my eyes off of her. The next day, she was gone. Gone! I didn't see her the day after that, and after that. I felt so relieved, but it didn't last very long. It was 2 weeks after when I saw her again. She started appearing more frequently. It was like I could never get away from her. I tried telling my parents again, but they seemed to get more and more annoyed.
Nita, stop making up stories. No one is here.
I couldn't convince them. They wouldn't believe me. But yet, there she was, at the end of the hallway, staring at me. I thought if I did the same thing, she would leave again. But the longer I stared, the closer she was. And this time, she crawled on all fours right at me. I wanted to scream, but nothing came out. Nothing. It was like she was superhuman. How did she get to me that fast? It was such a long hallway. What the fuck? I closed my eyes, waiting for something to happen, but there was nothing. Nothing. I opened my eyes and she was gone. I wanted to sleep with my sister, but she got annoyed and told me to grow up.
Nita, go back to your room. Ugh, I'll walk you there this time, but you'll have to grow up.
I went to sleep that night, but when I woke up, there she was. The first time I saw her, black greasy hair, long thin arms, with a black dress going down to her ankles. Her head had no nose, no mouth, no ears, just eyes. I wanted to scream, but she stopped me. She came at me with the same superhuman speed and was on top of my body within less than a second. She placed her hands on my throat and squeezed with immense strength. Bitch, you had spaghetti arms less than a minute ago. What the fuck are you on, steroids? My mind went blank, and I was losing consciousness. I woke up the next day to hand marks on my neck. When I showed my parents the mark, they were wary of what had happened, but no one had hands that big in the house, so they finally believed me. My dad rang a specialist and she said that she would come by soon. I was told to wait with my sister in my room until the priest came. A few hours had passed, soon my ass, and a knock was on the door. She wandered around the house, but eventually she had to walk through the hallway. She stopped dead in her tracks.
I see it. I see it. The demon. The girl. I need you to leave. Who let you into this house? You need to leave. You are not welcome here.
She screamed and told us to get a knife and a hammer. We got what she asked for, and she jammed that shit into the wall so fast. We were all so confused, but we saw her take out a box and board with a goddamn pentagram on it. She left the house after she burned some sage and placed up some crosses. We got a call a few days after saying that someone had placed a curse on the house before we had been in it. A few months later, we got the fuck out of there and never looked back. I went past the neighborhood lately and got reminded of this.